seen a child so lean that bones almost stick out of him? That is the pathetic story of Hope, a boy saved by a humanitarian. In case you are wondering if this was during the brutal World War, where hunger and starvation were the order of the day, this is far from it. This story didn't happen 1 or 2 decades ago. It happened just about 7 years ago. So what exactly happened? Why was the boy abandoned for a good-hearted stranger to pick up? What happened to his parents? In this video, we'll answer all the questions burning in your mind. All you have to do is watch to the end. The rescue of the little boy named Hope. In January 2016, Anya Ringren Loven was conducting one of her regular rescue missions in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, when she encountered a sight that would forever change her life and the lives of millions worldwide. She found a small, malnourished boy wandering the streets. It was a sight to behold, as bones were almost sticking out of him. The child, who was later named Hope, was severely emaciated. Mind you, Anya had seen all sorts of starvation, but the sight of the boy was unlike anything she had seen, as he was covered in sores and without clothing. What could have happened that landed the little defenseless boy on the street with no one to care for him? Well, it turned out his family had abandoned him after being accused of witchcraft, a common accusation that tragically leads to the abandonment, torture, or even death of many children in Nigeria.
What is wrong with the child?
The child?
Yes.
Hungry. No mother, no father.
Can we give the child some food?
No food, no mother.
At the time of his rescue, Hope was on the brink of death. He was too weak to walk properly. His ribs were visible under his skin, and he had no food or clean water. His small body reflected weeks, possibly even months, of neglect. This heartbreaking scene took Anya. She had no choice but to stop the car she was in to give the boy the aid he needed. In a heart-melting moment captured on camera, Anya kneeled to offer Hope a bottle of water and some biscuits. The photo that showed a starving child being given life-saving care by a compassionate stranger quickly went viral. Before long, Anya's line started buzzing with calls from individuals and organizations who wanted to help the child. Media outlets like BBC News and CNN were not left out as they reported on the powerful photograph, which spread across social media. It was so touching that it prompted people worldwide to ask, who is this child and what can be done to help him? Anya's decision to take Hope under her care was almost immediate. She explained in an interview with The Guardian, "I could not just pass him by, he was dying and I knew we had to act fast if we wanted to save him." Anya and her team immediately wrapped Hope in a blanket and rushed him to the nearest medical facility. The emotional toll on Anya and her team was a clear one. She often shared how difficult it was for her to see such suffering and how determined she was to help Hope and children like him. To some people, Hope's rescue was just a personal act of compassion, but it wasn't. It was an act of war against the dangerous superstitions and harmful beliefs that led to his abandonment in the first place. In an interview with Time, Anya noted, "This is what happens when children are accused of witchcraft. They are thrown away like garbage, but they are not garbage. They are humans." Before we look into what became of him after his rescue, who is this Good Samaritan and where is she from? Keep watching to find out. The Danish humanitarian. Anya Ringren Loven was born and raised in Denmark, a country known for its social welfare system and humanitarian values. Anya was born on the 4th of September 1978 in Frederikshavn, Denmark. After graduating from Frederikshavn Gymnasium in the year 1988, she and her twin sister traveled to Israel and explored the Middle East. In year 2001, Anya trained as a flight attendant at Marsk Air. However, she left her job 6 months later to care for her terminally ill mother, who was diagnosed with lung cancer. Following her mother's passing, she moved to Aalborg in 2002. After a while, she moved to Aarhus, where she worked in retail and became a store manager. In year 2009, Loven went to Malawi as an observer for the National Church Aid. This experience inspired her to continue working in Africa, and she soon began raising funds for a school renovation in Tanzania. By 2012, she founded the charity while still working at a clothing store. The following year, in 2013, she tendered a resignation letter at her job. She sold everything she owned to dedicate herself fully to helping witch children in Nigeria. Yes, you have heard that correctly. Witch children are accused of witchcraft and subjected to abandonment or violence due to superstition. In 2014, Anya and Nigerian law student David Emmanuel Umem co-founded ACAEDF, which is an acronym for African Children's Aid, Education, and Development Foundation. Their joint efforts led to creating the Land of Hope Children's Center in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, in 2015. The center, which was built with the help of Engineers Without Borders, provides a haven for children ostracized or tortured because of witchcraft accusations. The facility includes a hospital, a business school, and space for up to 100 children. It's important to note that while Loven was breaking her back to do this, she wasn't doing it for public adulation or applause. However, her effort came to the limelight in year 2016 when a viral photo showed her rescuing a severely malnourished boy. This moment brought her cause to the global stage, and praise and support for her charity organization have been raining on her since then. Anya lives in Nigeria and is deeply involved in every aspect of her organization's work. She participates in rescues, offering immediate care to children who have been rejected and mistreated. This dedication has made her a savior to the children she helps and a global Good Samaritan deserving of applause. Before we go on, what precisely is witchcraft hunting in children in Nigeria? Understanding witchcraft accusations in Nigeria. Witchcraft beliefs in Nigeria, a West African country, have deep roots and are part of a larger cultural context shared across many parts of Africa. These beliefs, which have managed to persist for centuries, revolve around the idea that supernatural forces can be used to harm others or bring misfortune. In many communities, unfortunate events such as illness, poverty, or death are often attributed to witchcraft, which then leads to suspicion and accusations against individuals believed to possess these supernatural powers. Children in particular are among the most vulnerable to these accusations. In some areas of Nigeria, children are accused of being witches when a family is going through difficult times, such as the loss of a family member or financial hardship. The blame is often placed on the youngest and most defenseless members of the household. According to a 2010 report by the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, children accused of witchcraft are often subjected to severe mistreatment, including physical abuse, abandonment, and in some cases, murder. The rise in child witchcraft accusations has been linked to the spread of Pentecostal Christianity in Nigeria. Some Pentecostal churches have leaders who promote the belief in witchcraft and claim to have the ability to identify and exorcise witches. These so-called pastors sometimes perform public rituals to cleanse the accused children, often for a fee. This practice has contributed to the widespread fear of witchcraft in rural and impoverished areas, further putting a stigma on these children.
If a child is accused of being a witch, there are many things that can happen, but what happens mostly is the child is being outcasted, sent away from home.
That's not all. Religious leaders play a significant role in shaping societal views on witchcraft, especially in communities where education is limited and traditional beliefs remain strong. Unfortunately, some corrupt leaders exploit these beliefs for personal gain. As printed by The Guardian, these religious leaders often accuse children of being witches in front of their congregations, performing public exorcisms that can traumatize and endanger the child. The cycle of fear and misinformation spreads further as the community turns against the child, and the family may even abandon them to escape the shame. There have been numerous cases where children have been physically abused or killed because of such accusations. For instance, in 2008, a report by the Washington Post detailed how many children were tortured and sometimes killed due to these beliefs. Most times, the parents who religious figures have convinced pay huge amounts to rid their children of witchcraft through dangerous and inhumane rituals. In case you are wondering what has been done or is being done about this terrible phenomenon, organizations like ACAEDF, led by Anya Ringren Loven, are at the forefront of efforts to combat these harmful superstitions. Anya's foundation does not only rescue children accused of witchcraft, but also works to challenge the underlying beliefs that spread these accusations. In a 2017 interview with BBC News, Anya spoke about the importance of education and awareness in eradicating the stigma surrounding witchcraft accusations. Her organization has implemented educational programs to teach local communities the dangers inherent in these beliefs and the harm they cause. ACAEDF also works closely with religious leaders who oppose the practice, helping to spread a message of compassion and understanding. Fortunately, with the provision of these alternative narratives, the value and dignity of every child have been restored, and people's minds are beginning to change. Also, media coverage of the issue, including the viral image of rescued children, has brought global attention to the plight of children accused of witchcraft. The beginning of a new life. Once Hope was under Anya's care, she ensured he received immediate medical attention. At the hospital, doctors confirmed that he was suffering from severe malnutrition, infections, and anemia. Hope's condition was critical as he was so weak that even basic tasks, like sitting up or walking, were impossible without assistance. The medical team at the facility worked tirelessly to stabilize him, providing him with nutrients and treatment for his infections. A few days after his rescue, Hope slowly began to show signs of improvement. He regained his strength bit by bit, and his physical and emotional wounds began to heal. In all these, Anya never failed to share regular updates on social media to keep her global supporters informed about Hope's progress. Over the following months, Hope's transformation was nothing short of miraculous. He began to gain weight, his infections cleared, and his energy returned. In an interview with The Guardian, Anya spoke about Hope's remarkable recovery. From the moment he started eating and receiving care, his spirit began to return. It's like he wanted to live. This is all thanks to the foundation that provided him with a loving home, education, and the chance to build a future that had once eluded him. During his recovery, Hope was surrounded by other children rescued by Anya's African Children's Aid Education and Development Foundation. Just like him, many of these children had also been accused of witchcraft. Their families and communities had ostracized them, but they were now thriving in a safe environment. For the first time in his life, Hope experienced the love and care that every child deserves, the one his parents couldn't give him. The global reaction and support. When the photo of Anya Ringren-Loven kneeling to offer water to the severely malnourished boy was shared on social media in 2016, it went viral almost instantly. The world was shocked by the plight of this little boy. It was unbelievable that a little child could be abandoned for baseless reasons such as witchcraft. You know the beautiful thing in all of these? Within days, the photograph had been shared millions of times, with people from all walks of life expressing their outrage at the suffering children like Hope endure, and their admiration for Anya's courageous act of kindness. This global response was not just emotional, it also became material. People from all over the world wanted to contribute and make a difference. In a matter of days, Anya's organization, the African Children's Aid Education and Development Foundation, received over $1 million in donations. These funds were used to expand the rescue efforts, helping not only Hope, but many other children who had been similarly accused of witchcraft and left to die. In an interview with The Independent, Anya mentioned that the outpouring of support was beyond anything she had ever imagined. She said, "The world came together in ways I could never have anticipated." Hope's rescue story didn't just attract attention to social media, it became a major headline in international media. Leading outlets like CNN, BBC, and People magazine covered the story, pointing the world's attention to both Hope's journey and the broader issue of witchcraft accusations against children in Nigeria. CNN ran a feature that detailed Hope's recovery, showing how the initial image had sparked global interest and support for Anya's cause. In their article, BBC dug into this weird culture in Nigeria, providing readers and viewers with a better understanding of the forces at play behind the story. Anya herself became the subject of multiple interviews as she discussed her foundation's challenges and the incredible impact of global donations. In an interview with People magazine, she explained how her passion for helping children accused of witchcraft stemmed from the realization that these children were being cast out by their communities for something they had no control over. "I knew I had to do something. And the world's response to Hope's story showed that people cared. They wanted to help save these children too, she told The Times. Anya's continuing mission and challenges. Anya Ringgren Loven's work with the African Children's Aid Education and Development Foundation did not end with the rescue of Hope. Her organization continues to rescue many children who have also been accused of witchcraft. The organization keeps offering them a chance at a better life. Since Hope was rescued, ACAEDF has expanded its reach by rescuing dozens of children each year who are abandoned, tortured, or exiled by their families due to similar accusations. These children too, just like Hope, are often found in equally terrible situations of malnourishment, abuse, and traumatization. Anya and her team provide physical care for these children and psychological and emotional rehabilitation that ensures they receive the love, care, and education they need to be reintegrated into society. Anya has shared several stories on social media about children whose lives have been transformed through ACAEDF's efforts, similar to Hope's. For example, a girl named Mary was rescued in the year 2020 after being accused of witchcraft. Like Hope, she was abandoned by her family and left to fend for herself. Today, under the care of Anya and her team, Mary is thriving in school and has dreams of becoming a teacher. The Foundation's center, located in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, provides a haven for children where they receive food, shelter, education, and medical care. Anya has made it known that one of the key aspects of her work is making sure these children grow up knowing they are loved and valued, despite the horrors they have faced from their families. Despite the great humanitarian services Anya does, her organization faces numerous challenges. One of the most significant obstacles is the resistance from local communities. Witchcraft beliefs are deeply entrenched in many parts of Nigeria and other African countries. Superstitious practices and fear of the unknown lead to the scapegoating of defenseless children.
The greatest challenge for me and for our team in Nigeria is, of course, this growing superstition because of this ignorance.
As you can guess, this societal resistance makes it difficult for Anya and her team to intervene in some cases. Families who abandon their children due to witchcraft accusations always view her efforts as a direct affront to their beliefs, leading to hostility. In addition to these social barriers, the foundation faces financial and logistical difficulties. Running an organization that rescues, rehabilitates, and educates children is costly. While global donations have helped, the foundation constantly struggles to secure enough resources to expand its reach and rescue more children. It's been 8 years since the beautiful rescue of Hope. Where is he today? Has he been returned to his community, or does he stay with Anya? Let's find out. Hope's life today. Fast forward to today, Hope is no longer the frail, starving child from the image that made rounds on social media in year 2016. He is now a happy, healthy young boy who lives under the care of Anya and her foundation, where he is surrounded by other children who have also been rescued. He attends school, where he is thriving academically and socially. Anya often shares updates about Hope's life on social media, where the global community that helped him can see how far he has come. In one interview with The Independent, Anya expressed her pride in Hope's transformation, stating, "He's one of the happiest children I know. Seeing him grow, laugh, and play like any other child is the most rewarding part of my work." Hope is known for his playful nature and curiosity, and he has made many friends within the foundation. He enjoys learning and participates in various school activities, which starkly contrasts the days when he wandered the streets alone and abandoned. Anya has mentioned how proud she is of his progress and development, noting that he is full of life and potential. In 2022, Anya reunited Hope with his father. Back in 2016, when Hope was found wandering the streets, severely malnourished and close to death, his family was nowhere to be found. Anya recalls that Hope's uncle was away working in another state, and his father had recently returned to their village after a long absence. His uncle had told them how much Hope resembled his father, and the striking similarity was immediately apparent when they met. Now you want to know if his father looked for him when Anya initially found and rescued him. We will never know. Upon the reunion, Anya shared on social media that Hope's father was shocked to see his son after so many years, while Hope stared at him in disbelief. During the visit, Hope's father reassured him with caring gestures, and when they returned to the land of Hope, Hope excitedly showed pictures of his father to the other children, much like other kids do after home visits. While Hope will not live with his father or mother for various reasons, Loven stressed the importance of children knowing their roots. She believes it is important for children to understand their background as it helps develop a strong sense of identity. Having an identity is a fundamental human right, she explained. For Hope, reconnecting with his father will help him grow emotionally, allowing him to move past the trauma he experienced. Anya recalls how she feared that Hope wouldn't survive, and she decided to name him Hope so that if he passed away, he would do so with dignity. The journey to reuniting Hope with his father was long and challenging. However, it was a clear fight against superstition and the ongoing efforts of Land of Hope to save and transform the lives of accused children. According to Anya, such moments are essential in breaking the chains of superstition and helping these children rebuild their lives. Before Hope's rescue, we had already saved more than 50 children in similarly terrible conditions, so we were prepared for what to do. Anya Ringgren Anya explained to Vanguard. Hope's parents had abandoned him, and the villagers believed he was a witch. We took him to the hospital, and the rest is history. Today, he's a healthy, strong boy who loves going to school and playing with his friends at Land of Hope. Anya reflected on the well-known photo of her kneeling in front of Hope, who was malnourished and starving at the time of his rescue. I think most people have seen or heard about that picture, but today I want to share photos of how Hope looks now, a few years later. He's a strong, intelligent, funny, and beautiful boy who survived against all odds, she said. Also, she shared that Hope is aware of the famous picture, often pointing to it and smiling. He will point at himself and say it's him in the picture, but I know it's not about pride. Children are naturally forgiving and don't hold grudges. It's only when they are taught what to think, instead of how to think, that we fail as a society. We don't raise Hope to hate his parents for abandoning him and accusing him of being a witch. Of course not, Anya emphasized. Over the years, many people have wondered about the whereabouts of Hope's mother. People don't know that Anya had been trying to locate her too. Finally, after years of searching, Anya and her husband David located Hope's mother. Anya had always believed in her heart that this moment would come, and in 2023, while filming the documentary Woman at the End of the World, the search ended. On the 5th of September 2023, Anja wrote on her Facebook page that she had only witnessed her husband shed tears once. The second time was the emotional moment when Hope saw his mother for the first time. Loven recalled, "I've known David for more than a decade and I've only seen him cry once. But when I picked up Hope to take him to see his mother, waiting under our mango tree, I saw David cry for the second time." According to her, Hope's mother was only 15 when she gave birth to him. Hope's father, the village head, was almost 50 then. It is a common practice in rural areas for older men to take young girls as wives. While pregnant with Hope, his mother also had to care for her ailing parents, both of whom died shortly after his birth. As a young teenager, she was left to care for Hope, whom she named Stephen at birth. She explained that Hope's mother never abandoned him in the village, as many assumed. She was forced to leave when she became pregnant with Hope's younger brother, Daniel, at just 16. This tragic situation involved abuse of varying degrees. In the end, she was forced to relocate to Lagos. However, the most important aspect of the story is that Hope and his mother have now reunited, and over time, he has formed a close bond with her. Though it took time, Hope has forgiven his mother, and their relationship has brought some kind of closure and understanding to his special journey. In a recent visit, Loven and Nsidibe Orok, Director of Child Development at Land of Hope, returned with Hope to his village. They wanted the community to witness his incredible transformation since his rescue 8 years ago. What do you think of Hope? Do you agree that his parents, who once abandoned him, should have been allowed to reunite with him? Let's have your opinion in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video, do not hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.